Good morning, guys. We are outside of the hotel in downtown Parma. We're about to ride up into the mountains, over into La Spezia. Take a couple of days. Should be a beautiful ride. We're gonna have some thunderstorms later. We'll see, but should be exciting whatever it is. Well, that was a throwback memory. I was trying to fly over Parma, which I was a little bit nervous about. It's a pretty dense city with a lot of like historic buildings, and sometimes flying the drones is not exactly appreciated. But it wasn't the police that told me to stop, it was the crows. The crows here are very similar to the crows in Japan, especially northern Japan near Hokkaido. I was flying over a bridge in Hokkaido, and I normally position the drone, especially on bridges, where I want, and then I ride past the drone and then I reposition it. And as I'm riding, I looked over and I could see this crow, blackbird, that was just eyeballing the drone. He was not gonna let it. He was gonna send that thing into the good night. And so just before he dive bombed, I made an evasive maneuver on the drone and saved it. Typically these birds, if you got a bird that's attacking your drone, move vertically, because birds are not used to that. Hello. Actually, they're not used to drones moving like in all sorts of ways. You want to move erratically. You don't want to move forward and backward, because that's the way they expect things to move. So if you're like just moving straight forward, they can build a trajectory around that and just knock you out of the air, which has happened with swallows in the north of Japan, the farthest island in Japan called Rishiri. It got bombarded with swallows and actually hit the drone so hard that it must have jiggled the battery, because the drone literally ran out of power at like 200 meters up, and it started to tumble. The battery didn't die, but the propeller stopped, because I did see the thing flipping. And I was able to restart the engines, luckily, and the thing righted itself and flew back. It was over the ocean, so if that thing would have hit the ground, I would have never seen it again. But luckily, I was able to salvage it. But anyways, yeah, they don't like me flying the drones here, so I will abide. Anyways, Parma is a beautiful city. You saw it in the last vlog a little bit, so we'll talk to you later. Yeah, these bridges do remind me a lot of Tokyo. Actually, a lot of places downtown build around the river. I have noticed a lot of dogs, like pet dog culture in Italy. Very strong, very strong. They love their dogs. All right, guys, we have ran out of shoulder. We ran out of blissful countryside riding. There's only a few roads that go up into the mountains and over, and this is the one that has been recommended. So on goes the helmet. A lot of people say I should wear it all the time, but most of the people in town were not wearing the helmet, and I was going very slow and no real need to. But in this case, you got to. I think there's going to be a big marathon in Parma. There's police cars that have like they're at different points along a route. Anyways, slightly nervous about the next 50 or 100 kilometers. Hopefully traffic kind of ebbs and flows and works around me. So far it's been good, but this road's a little bit faster than others. All right, guys, I am in Collecchio. I don't know the significance of this gate, but it is beautiful, so I decided to stop. At this point in time, the roads sort of become singular, and the roads sort of become one, and they go up into the mountains. There's obviously the main highway, which I'll stay away from, but this is sort of like the way. There's probably like 3 ways to get over. One of them is a little bit more rustic. It'll take me a little bit longer. One of them is a highway, which is a highway, and then this is the third one. So I'm taking well, it's not really the third, it's a middle option. And the 62 goes basically all the way over. Actually, there's one more city called Fornova di Taro. Fornova di Taro. And after Fornova di Taro, it goes up into the actual hillsides and leaves like along the river routes. I really like along the river routes. You're pretty much assured that they're not going to be too steep, because otherwise it would just be a waterfall, right? The rivers are sort of carved along the most advantageous route without having like a cliffside. So yeah, the river's right over here, basically. I always, almost without fail, go through the same like cycle of emotions. Like like when you lose a loved one, then you're angry, and then you're depressed, and then you're guilty, and all of these different things. But for me, it always starts the day with apprehension. I'm nervous, I'm worried. How's it gonna be? How's the road? Then I get on the road, and almost without fail, I realize it's not as bad. Like, people are being very kind to you, giving you right away. They're giving you the attention that you hope they will give you in order to make it less dangerous. And then the optimism takes over. You look at the map and you're like, oh my God, the top of the mountain. I mean, it's only, let's see here, it's only like 20 kilometers away. It really isn't 20 kilometers because it dips down and up and down and up again. But I'm saying to myself, 30 kilometers, I could be on the other side of this thing. Now, the caveat to that is when you say that, you're typically on a flat, and so you're going about 17. I don't average really fast. My average is around 12 on a flat road, 15 maybe. Flat road with some bumps. Then you think you can do it all, but then you hit that first rise. So I'm now at the first real rise where the incline is going to step up and step up and step up some more. And, you know, then you're like, oh, wait. I was being a bit naive. And then you get halfway up and you're like, I have a video of me climbing the incline from Laokai to Sapa, and I remember I had similar aspirations and attitudes, although that one was much higher. I will say that right off the bat, I mean, I don't know what the future holds, but I've had bike lanes weaving in and out fairly routinely, and I was expecting to be on a 2-lane road with no shoulder the whole way, so pleasantly surprised there. The reality of uphill climbs, fully loaded. Somebody asked me how heavy the trike is. I was trying to figure it out because when I shipped it, I shipped one box that was 70 pounds, and then another box that was 43, I think. It wasn't the 50. As well as my backpack that I was wearing that was probably 15 pounds. And then my pannier that I had. You know, so I have to calculate. I would love to find a scale that I could write on top of and I could tell you exactly how heavy I am, but obviously there was box weight and packing material and all sorts of stuff there. But I gotta imagine that the trike fully loaded, 140 pounds maybe more. I would like to weigh it somewhere. And then I'm like 230 pounds. So there's some weight there. Maybe it's even more, I don't know. Again, the reality of going uphill is that now I am in the first gear of the small chain ring in the front, and I'm going 3 kilometers an hour. Barely a crawl, but it's about, I think it's 9 or 10% grade. It's here where you just gotta like sort of grit your teeth, take your time, put one crank in front of the other. I'm only going to be doing this for another maybe 9 kilometers, but at 3 kilometers an hour, that's 3 hours, you know. So not very luxurious, it's not very hip or cool, it's just a grind. Obviously, if I had less weight, I could be going a little bit faster. Also, if I had an upright bike and I was using my body weight, could possibly go faster. But this is the thing that I have chose, and so you have to deal with the ups so you can enjoy the down. Sexy, that was the word. It's not very sexy. Holy moly, I forgot about that. I forgot about the just the head down bullying through. Finally hit a flat patch, but it's not over. I still got another 200 meters up to go, I think, maybe more. But I'll take this little flat area as a gift. My legs are going to be sore tomorrow. I think that if I can stop up at the peak, even before the first little trough, then or at the bottom of the first trough, then I can sleep, wake up the next morning, continue up and then down, and then get into La Spezia. I think that would be fine. It would make the down to La Spezia a little bit more fulfilling if I had to like go up a little bit more before I started the big down. Lots of motorcycles. Not all of them are too friendly. A lot of them are just trying to speed up and down as quick as they can. Like these guys, I think. Here we go. Yeah. No waves, no hellos from those guys. They're actually, I'm worried about those motorcycles more than I am about any of these cars, because they really like to take those turns tight. The outside turns are no problem, they can see me and everything, but the inside turns, they're a little bit more blind. And a couple of guys, they came in really close. And you know, I could see them sort of move over like it hit them, but too little too late. After they hit me, they realize they're too close, but whatever. So far so good though. We're probably 3/4 of the way up, so it's good. All right, guys, we got a long way to go. And at this point in time, the self-doubt sets in. The self-doubt section of that I was talking about before. Like, what the hell am I doing? This is, I used to be able to do hills like this with a lot more ease. My legs are tired, my knees are sore, and I have a very long way to go. I was looking at the ups and downs on the map, and I'm like, oh, I'm almost to the peak, like pretty soon. And then it goes down, and then it goes up higher, and then it goes down, and then it goes up higher, higher. So I don't know if I was reading the map wrong or if I was reading the map right earlier, but now that I'm farther along, I'm taking these dips more into consideration, but holy moly. On a side note, I'm wearing a Garmin heart monitor just because I want the data. And when I lean back, it makes me look like I have a boob. Just because it pinches my chest. And it looks like I have, my daughter would say nene boo. Well, she doesn't say that anymore. She said that when she was like 2. Nene boo. When she was drinking from mom's nene boo. Anyways. Quit your bitching and keep going. I think I'm thinking too much about video. It's really beautiful, but I have to stop flying the drone, stop thinking about it, and just press on for a little while. Maybe once I get to the peak of this first rise, I will feel better. I still have a ways to go, but I figured I'd stop here and have some snacks and some water, cooler water. But it's sort of funny. I'm the only cyclist in this whole chain. There's like a bunch of motorcycles that are already left already. But here I am with my bike. I look like the odd man out for sure. I'm the only one with flags. I bet a bunch of these guys have like whizzed past me. Like, what the hell is that guy doing? All right, we're at the top of the first bump. Feels pretty good. I'm glad I stopped at that biker stop. I ate some chips and drank a bunch of water and had some really nasty lemony, like zesty water. I thought it was gonna be like sparkling water with lemon flavoring, but it was like brown, like a cola almost. Ugh, it wasn't good, but it helped me reestablish some nutrients, and I plugged away at this next hill a little bit better. Since we're at the top, I thought I'd whip the camera out and you can join me on the way down, or at least at the top. I can shift to a higher gear finally, pick up some speed, and then enjoy a ride. Maybe I'll put this at the end of the video, I don't know. Oh, hey now. That's nice. over 3 kilometers an hour for the first time in a while. It was supposed to thunderstorm, so I'm not complaining. It's 5:30, and I really would like to make it to that third peak, which is where that big-ish city is, and then the next day would just be Las Spezia. If I can keep this pace up. This Airbnb is beautiful. Beautiful. I'm half tempted to take one of these Airbnbs up. I've burned through 3/4 of my battery on the drone. Could use a recharge. I'm hoping after I continue on, I'm sure I'll find a place. I'm sure. But it is tempting to just grab one of those. It's 5:30. I've got a few more hours until lights go down. I've decided I'm just going to plug along until I arrive at the summit, and then I'll have a beautiful downhill into La Spezia. La Spezia is famous for a section of the town where it's all these colorful buildings. I think a lot of people have seen La Spezia in puzzles. I think like 1,000, 3,000 piece puzzles. It's like that picture that has so many colors and variations to it that it's easy to do as a puzzle, because you know if you get that red piece, it's part of a couple of red buildings there, blue piece, green piece, you know, water. It's got like a boat. Oh, this is part of a boat. This is a cloud. It's got a lot of textures to it. I'm excited to shoot some video there. Maybe shoot a... So if you guys know who Hansa is, he is the marketing manager and my friend at azub, among many friends. He's not my only friend at azub. But we rode together in Slovakia and Czechia. And when we did, he noticed I was doing a lot of this. Side to side, huffing and puffing, pushing really hard on the pedals. And he was like, Matt, that's not something you want to do. And he knew that I had the Schlumpf drive. It's one of the reasons that he recommended ditching the Schlumpf drive, is because it sort of enabled me to have a really huge simulated chain ring in the front, a really huge chain ring in the front. And I enjoyed it because I could use the strength in my legs to drive really hard and get really fast. And he said, Matt, you don't want to do that. You want to manage your cadence so that you're not pushing so hard. He's like, it's no, I'm not surprised now hearing that you've had trouble with your knees with how you ride. And he's like, I haven't seen you ride before, and now it's like, wow, you're like a monster. And it was sort of a revelation, you know. I started cycling with my world tour. I grew up in Detroit. There wasn't really a lot of a cycling culture when I grew up. There is a cycling culture in Detroit now, but I wasn't plugged into it way back then. And it was only until I really got the trike and started riding around the world that I started cycling. And so I thought that was the only way. It wasn't until I rode with Hansa and he was able to critique my riding cadence that I realized that maybe I wasn't doing myself any services. And so I'm not going as fast. I'm trying to take it a little bit slower, and I'm trying to go into the lowest gear possible earlier and just sort of turn my legs over more and more. I mean, maybe I'm at a 6% grade, and at 1, the lowest gear I got, I could most certainly ride in 3 or 4, but I'd be huffing and puffing and using my body weight to drive, and I don't know if that might have been causing me some problems. So I have, anyways, I just wanted to tell you that I've taken it down a little bit in speed. I've dropped my gearing as far as I can on these rises, and I'm just sort of taking it easy and turning over. And we're fluctuating, like it's 6, 7, 8%. I mean, it's not as exciting as the faster. But it's what I gotta do. So I totally edited out the grueling uphill, and now we're at the glorious downhill. You're welcome for that. Okay. Well, we have a room for the night. It's a really nice old building. The lady fixed it up, spoke a little English. I actually drove around this village looking for a place. And the one place was completely abandoned. The campsite was an RV park that was locked off. I really want power so I can charge my drones and stuff for tomorrow. So, and this place is like right in the middle of town. I did have to go like an extreme amount of descent to get to the village, like an extra, I don't know, 50 meters, like descended. It's like, it's fun on the way down, but it just means I have to do that tomorrow. Trying to find a place to eat might be difficult. This is a small village, and things don't stay open too long. But I heard there's a pizzeria up here. Pizzeria di Romano. I will eat to my heart's content, and then I will plug in all my doodads. That's what we're gonna do. Look at the size of this water. It's a crazy sized water. Didn't realize it's so big. So I got a pizza. It's called the Atomica. So it's gonna be spicy, hopefully. Then I got a salad and a beer, and I got some sun today. Simple salad with fresh ingredients, vinegar and oil. This looks promising. Oh, it's not cut. It's one piece. It's one big disc. Oh, this is spicy. I know what they call it, the Atomico. There's some peppers on this thing. Pretty good day today. I should have covered a bit more distance, I think, but I'm trying to think about the ride I had in Vietnam, and I really thought that I had covered more distance in a quicker time. I'm gonna have to look at that video. It's a good thing I have video evidence of everything I've done. This pizza is way more spicy and what I would call a pizza than I have had here so far. The other pizzas I've had have been more of a marinara flavor, and this is more of a, I'll ask for hot peppers on pizza from now on. We'll close this one out. I'll talk to you in the morning when I set off. We'll get to La Spezia tomorrow, and it should be quite beautiful. We have a threat of thunderstorms, but I think it's gonna be okay. The weather has just been working out. It was supposed to rain today, the original forecast, but it's good. It's good. Great day. Take it easy, guys. Jayoe. Bye.